KETK. You're watching East Texas Live.
Hey, welcome back to East Texas Live on KETK. We love featuring local authors here on East Texas Live. And this morning, Jasmine Ware is here to tell us about her book titled A Silent Battle Won with a Loud Victory. Welcome to the show, Jasmine. Tell me, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, this book is actually about my life story. As a young girl, I ended up going through a lot of domestic abuse, a lot of different traumas. And on my journey of healing and restoring and becoming this woman that I am today, I just felt led to share my story to be able to help others.
This sounds like a tough book to write.
It was. Many moments I cried during this book. Many moments I smiled because I saw myself as an overcomer.
Is this autobiographical? Are you the character in this book?
I am the character in this book, yes. And so just to be able to overcome those things and to look at where I started to where I am today, it is a blessing.
So how do you see other people finding help through this book?
Well, I have run across different people in my life where conversations would strike up and we have similar stories and they don't know how to overcome this trauma. And it's like, hey, what you went through, I went through that very same thing and this is what helped me. So I feel like sharing the tips, the different things that I found to be helpful will be able to help others.
You know, that's one of the things I think we all learned from the Me Too movement. Once someone speaks up, like when they all started speaking up against Harvey Weinstein, that empowered other people to tell their story and at least pursue justice, or even just to get help. I think maybe your book might do something similar, but on a smaller scale here in East Texas.
Yes.
But that's the main purpose of the book?
That's the main purpose, just to help the next person to be better, to get healed, because there is healing. There is healing for everyone, but you have to do the work, and as I always say, there is life after trauma.
So you have a book signing coming up. Tell me about that.
Yes, so I am a newly published author. This is actually my first book. I have many more that I want to write. So the book signing, it will be at Half Price Books in the Cumberland Shopping Mall. And so I'm just excited. My editor, her name is Virgie Lacey with To Be Sacred Enterprises. So she'll be there as well. We'll be giving a lot of different information, a lot of different resources with this book signing. So I'm excited.
How long did it take you to write a book? Because that's something people always say, oh, I'd like to write a book. I've had an incredible life. I could write a book about it. You actually did it. Now, how much trouble was it?
Well, honestly, I had this book in mind, I say about 3 to 4 years ago. It was placed in my heart. My pastors, they spoke some things into my life. And I sat on this book about 2 to 3 years. And when I finally made up my mind that I was going to do it, this was a 7-month process. Honestly, it could have been a little bit longer if I did not have, the tenacity and the discipline to go ahead and get through it. But seven long months. It seems short now that it's already completed, but yeah, 7 months. Yeah.
All right, so one of the tough things about writing an autobiographical book about trauma you've endured is now everybody gets to know your dirty little secrets. How tough is that? Honestly,
it's not a tough subject. It's not a tough subject for myself. As a Christian believer, the word tells us that we are overcomer by the words of our testimony. So me sharing this topic, because domestic violence, whether it's rape, molestation, it's a taboo topic. It's not a popular subject when you come into a room. And so I don't mind people knowing, because when they see the person that I am and everything that I'm achieving, they're going to say, you know what, girl, you deserve that. After all the things you've been through, all the things you've overcome, everything that's happening in your life right now, you deserve it.
Yeah, and I think one of the misconceptions people like myself have is I've never been through anything that horrible, and so why would I need to read a book like that? But I've noticed that if you have anyone in your life who's been through that, it'll help you understand them. So if you're married to someone who has an abusive past, or you have a step-kid, or even some co-workers, talk about how the people who are adjacent to abuse could benefit from this book.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like, you pretty much answered the question. Even though you may not be a recipient of this type of trauma, having that knowledge, it allows you to know how to deal with other people that have been through this. Not only that, you can pass it along as a resource. Like, you know what? I hear what you're saying. I don't have the answers for you, but look, there's this book that has the answer for you. Because in this book, there's tips and tool bits. I got ways to cope, whether it's with, you know, like this type of trauma. It could be trauma from a loss of a loved one. Like, it caters to different types of trauma.
So what's next for Jasmine Ware? Are you going to pursue the book writing and keep being an author, or are you going to pursue the help for people who've been through similar issues?
Honestly, I really feel like it's going to be both directions. I do have another book, so stay tuned, that I'm working on, and it's going to be a series of silent battles with different topics, different subjects that people, you know, go through in silence. And so, you know, like I said, just stay tuned.
Well, okay. I want you to sell a bunch of books, write another one, and when it comes out, you can come back on the show, and we'll talk about that one next.
I would love to be back.
All right, thank you so much. If you would like to meet Jasmine Ware and get a signed copy of her book, the book signing, we just mentioned it, September 9th at Half Price Books in Tyler. Thank you, Jasmine.